Welcome. In this class, we are going to see about the class Phyllopsida. In this class, we are going to see about Phylopsidum genus. This class resembles the extinct plants of Phylophytopsida as they share similar traits. This is a systematic position of phylotum. So the phylotum in Phyloptidaceae, there is two genus, Phylotum and Temiteris. Under Phylotum, there is two popular species, Phylotum nudum and Phylotum fascidium. In Phylotum nudum, you can see the erect aerial shoot. In place of Phylotum fascidum, you can see the pendant aerial structure. In this genus, usually the whisker fern, they are called as whisker fern. It does not have any two ferns because usually it does not have any leafy structure. So usually they call as whisker fern. It looks like a shrub without leaves. So these are the first primitive uh, land plant which having the vascular tissue. The before that the bryophyte is there. In bryophyte we don't have a vascular system. Here we have a vascular system, but still we don't have any true root, okay, to absorb the water. Instead we have rhizomes. In rhizome there is a large rhizoid borne on the rhizome which absorb water and nutrition from the soil. You can see there is a scaly leaf present in the aerial shoot. Usually these aerial shoot have this kind of scaly leaf only on the distal end, not on the basal end. You can see the smooth stem on the basal end. Okay. In stem, if you see stem, usually they are photosynthetic, dichotomously branched. This stem usually act as a photosynthetic organ instead of leaf. In Phylotum nudum, the distal part usually have ribbed. Here you can see clearly there is a ribbed stem is there. In case of Phylotum fascidum, usually the distal end of the aerial should have a flattened stem. In basal part, both the species have a smooth surface. In Phylotum nudum, like I said, it's an aerial shoot growing up to 15 to 20 centimeter. In case of Phylotum flaccidum, it grow up to 90 centimeter and as a epiphytic form which depend on the trunk of other trees. In case of leaf, there is no true leaf here. Instead, there is a ination forming the scaly leaf. Okay. In the scaly leaf, you can see the ination is a structure where they tell about how the leaf actually develop in higher organism. Here the scaly leaf is formed in this form, like a stem actually have a little branch without any leaf trace. Leaf trace means the vascular beginning of the thing. It does not have any. So it's simply having a leaf-like structure in small size without any vascular bundle, without any stomata. that conduct water. It's just the appendages. Okay. So in this is a stage that represent the phylotum better. Okay. Now we are going to say about the anatomy of phylotum. The anatomy of phylotum consists of rhizome. Usually it consists of two-celled epidermis which give rise to rhizoids, and the outer cotyledon usually contains endophytic mycorrhiza which help in the absorption of nutrition by solubilizing it. The middle cortex contains starch grains. The inner cortex contains pilobarine component which give the dark brown color to the cell. The stele is protostelic in type. Now we're going to see about the cross section of aerial stem. Here you can see the epidermis is single layer, consists of thick cuticles with stomata without any subsidiary cells. Okay. Then we have a cortex. Cortex is usually divided into three zones. First zone is chlorenchyma for photosynthesis, then sclerenchyma, middle cortex for mechanical strength, and inner cortex for storage of starch. Then there is a single endodermis consists of Casparian strips. Okay. Then there is a single layered parenchymatous pericycle. The stele is actinostelic in basal part of the stem. When it come to the distal or middle part of the stem, it contains hypnostelic. The difference between actinostelic and hypnostelic is in actinostelic there is no pith, but it contains xylem in the pattern of star-like shape. In case of hypnostelic, there is a pith. Here we can see the scleretic pith with xylem surrounded by the phloem. Next, here the stele does not contain any secondary growth. It only contains protostelic or heterostelic, hypnostelic with scleretic pith. The vegetative reproduction of phylotum consists of two things like sporadic gemme, gametophytic gemme. In sporophytic gemme, you can see the gemme structure actually develops from the rhizoid tip of the rhizoid, okay, immature rhizoid. It is underground, it develops and it further produces the new protothallus. In case of gametophytic gemme, it develops on gemme of the protoplasm gemme, okay. So the reproduction by means of spores usually consists of sporangia. As you can see, some of the aerial shoot which are fertile in nature having the syngenia. Syngenia is nothing but the trilocular sporangia. Okay, it has tree sporangium with the base of the foliar appendages. Okay, this in Syngenia, each sporangium develops spores. This Syngenia actually developed as eusporangiate, that means it developed from single cell. These spores are usually in kidney shape, homosporous, which produce gametophyte after the resting period of 2 to 3 years. Okay. In gametophyte, these gametophytes are non-green exosporic. That means actually this gametophyte develop after the spore gets released. This gametophytic are homothallic. That means both female and male gametes are present in the same plant. It produces antheridia and archegonia cells. If we see in archegonia organ, it is projected outward. This is structure of archegonia. It have neck canal cell with ventral canal cell, egg cell, which is covered by the jacket cell, single jacket cell along with the cover cell. This on germination, on fertilization, this cover cell usually disintegrate. You can see the antheridium, mature antheridium having a single layered jacket cell with multicellular sporogenous tissue producing a spermatozoids. Okay, these spermatozoids are flagellated, coiled, containing multiple flagella, usually swim towards the archegonia. This archegonia, the cover cell get dissolved, and this and archegonia is get swim inside the ventral canal cell and reach the egg cell and fertilize the egg. After the spermatozoid get fused with the egg cell, it fertilizes. Slowly, the neck canal cell and the ventral canal cell get disintegrate and get cutinized. The sporophytic phase get developed from the fertilized zygote. The sporophyte usually have three cells. One is shoot, foot. Epibasal produce shoot and hypobasal shell develop foot. The foot is usually have a special organ called haustoria. This haustoria help in absorbing the nutrition for the developing young sporophyte. The epibasal cell give rise to shoot, while this sporophyte developing on the gametophyte, usually the protothallus create a calyptra around the embryo, developing embryo. This gives additional protection to that embryo. This embryo then grow rhizoid and rhizome, eventually produce the aerial shoot, which establish the sporophytic phase. You can see the life cycle of the psilotum. So the majority of the life of the psilotum usually have diploid phase, diploid cell type. So it called diploidic life state. Okay.